Audiences have accepted us in part one, they've accepted us in part two. Now we've got to give them back, bigger.
Why should we watch it?
Why shouldn't you watch Baaghi 3? It's a full film. It's got, it's got everything, all sorts of flavors. It's got very interesting characters, relationships. It's got a huge scale. It's got a huge action set pieces, and it's got a very strong emotion in the story as well.
I know it's a testosterone charged film, but what does a woman do? I know Saho you did well, but even then,
Thank you
yes,
so much.
What's your role like, Shraddha?
I had great fun playing Sia again, but she's completely different from the first Baaghi that we did together. I have to say she has a very beautiful lingo.
Yes, it's very, very really now. You just swear quite a bit.
Which is
Yes, I had to look up the swear book a bit. I was like, nice.
So and it's her way of swearing and being super feisty. So I had a great time playing this character because I had no idea that there is a rhythm to swearing.
Oh, really now? That's an art. Is that true, Tiger? Swearing is an art now.
And you have to just try to make it sound as natural to you as possible. So I had a great time.
Is it set in Syria? I mean, I wasn't sure. Is that place dressed up as Syria, or where was it shot?
Well, it was shot in Serbia, and yes, we did have a huge set that was supposed to be Syria. Yeah, very cold though. We were shooting in -7 degrees Celsius. Whatever we shot there was all on live location. So whatever you'll see in the film, it's not a very VFX heavy film. It's the real deal, yeah. So all of the stuff that we've done is just for real.
This third installment looks a lot more bigger, ambitious in scale. I feel you're taking on the global enemy now, the terrorist group, the ISIS. So, what did you tell the makers? They have seen me in Baaghi 1, Baaghi 2. Let's do something.
I haven't told them anything. I think Sajid sir and Ahmed sir were clear that the audiences have accepted us in part one. They've accepted us in part two. Now we've got to give them back, bigger. In part three, this time the emotion is a lot stronger. The action is a lot stronger. Everything is amped up a lot.
You had to do a lot of training, right? Hand-to-hand combat, or am I totally wrong?
No.
You didn't have to do action at all?
No, not in this one. No training. All of that is being done by him and the rest of the team. It was great because immediately after Chichore, this was like a polar opposite character. So I had to just work on the delivery of the lines, particularly because it comes from a place of a lot of feistiness. So it had to become second nature for me, which I really enjoyed.
How do you outdo war now? I have to ask you that because we've already seen you in that avatar where you are this indestructible hero. There's a lot of power. Whatever you do, there's always sound effects at the back. You are like, he's suddenly become this...
I wish I was indestructible, but my hero destroyed me.
Yes, yeah, get it. But we saw you in that avatar already. So how do you outdo war?
I don't want to outdo war. I want to do something different than war. That silhouette is very different. That's very, very slick, very stylized, that film. Baaghi is very raw, very real. And here it's man versus machine, it's man versus man, it's man versus nature. Whereas war was just a clash of two titans, it was Batman versus Superman. So in that sense, it's different. They're different silhouettes.
It was also battle of egos as well. In this case, you're taking on an entire thing. Somebody was just telling me he's taking on the entire world this time. How difficult is it to convince people, that you are a one-man army?
I think it's very difficult, but if you do it, sincerely, and you do it honestly and do it to your full potential, I think the audiences, give you that liberty and sort of are kind enough and accept you for that spur of a moment, and they enjoy it sometimes.
Right.
Like for me, I really look up to larger than life heroes, and
it's
big
old
cinematic.
School Bollywood.
Yeah, it's old school. It's the 90s, it's the 80s, and I think somewhere the audience still love that cinema.
Would it appeal to all those who are looking for different kinds of cinema?
Actually, it's a hope I have with every film that I do. I hope that the film entertains. I hope that the film makes people enjoy the experience of watching a movie, you know, a cinematic experience. So yes, so my fingers are crossed for that.
Okay.
Yes.
We've lived through the journey, and saying it in a completely non-biased manner, it's a lot more than it seems. What we've expressed right now is a very superficial layer. It's a lot of decoration, you know. But when you actually see the film and when you come out of the film, you know, I think the audiences will be reacting in a different manner.
Here's the dream. I mean, nothing like a good movie to entertain us. And thank you for doing such a good job of it in 2019.
Thank you very much. Thank
Here's
you.
hoping 2020 is good, guys.
Thank you. Yes.
You take care. Cheers.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.